It is. It is 6:30 on Monday, May 13th. It is a regular school board meeting of ISD 717. Thank you all for being here, and I call the meeting to order, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Deb Polly,
Here.
Sarah Lanen,
Here.
Lauren Pedersen,
Here.
Molly Magnac,
Here.
Rob Langheim, here. Corinne Hennon,
Here.
Jenny Kuski.
Here.
Great, thank you. We have a jam-packed agenda tonight, a fun agenda. So I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as published. I believe the only last-minute changes today was, I think, one of the contracts on one of the teachers was added mid-afternoon. But other than that, there was no changes.
Motion to approve.
Lauren moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Molly. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, on to our Jordan Pride Awards. And I am going to invite our Activities Director, John Butine, to the podium.
Yes, thank you very much, Deb. Really excited to be here tonight to award Dale Carroll with a Jordan Pride Award. Dale is a member, our school is a member of a co-op that is run by New Prague High School for floor hockey. There's a couple of other schools that participated in it as well. Dale is an 8th grader at JMS who was a participant on the team this year that made it to the state tournament. So they had a chance to participate in that. We've tried to connect here a couple of times to get a chance to award her for this, and this is the time that it worked. I will also share that Dale is a member of the same co-op's softball team, which just this past week also qualified for the state tournament. So we're excited to be able to recognize that as well. As a floor hockey member, it was Dale's first season participating. She scored 2 goals, was named the team's Rookie of the Year, had a great experience, and is excited for more. So we're excited to honor her here this evening. So Dale, if you want to go ahead and come on up. We'll have Deb present you with your Jordan Pride Award.
Sure, I'm going to read this award to you, Dale. It says the Jordan Pride Award is hereby presented to Dale Carroll, 2024 State CI Adaptive Floor Hockey Tournament participant, and it sounds like you're going to be getting one for softball, is that correct? Whose endeavor for excellence has shown character, determination, and hard work that represents the values of our school and community. This is a small token of gratitude to say congratulations and thank you for being a role model to others. And it's signed by the superintendent and myself. So congratulations. And I believe they're going to want to get a picture. So how about you come over here?
Yes.
Why don't you get in with her?
Sure. That'd be
Why don't
great.
you come in right over here?
Yeah, we'll go.
Oh, yes. Okay. My bad. Jenny? Okay, on to our next award. Mr. Visner.
I'll speak slowly as they're still getting your gift together, Daniela.
It's ready to go.
All right. All right. I have the pleasure of introducing Daniela Guerrero Garcia, and I can't say it as well as you with rolling my tongues. I'm still working on it, so hopefully by graduation I'll get that for you, okay? Daniela is our student school board rep. She's a senior here at Jordan High School. She's heading to UMD in the fall to study education. Is that still right? All right. So, I mean, I just cannot even think of a more perfect person to be leading our next generation of students in the classroom than Daniela. She's a leader in our building with the ELC. She's been a part of our listening groups for our strategic planning and part of the group that is allowing us to plan and prepare for the beautiful new building we'll have across the street. I've just seen so much growth out of Daniela too, just from a tough freshman year through COVID and all the struggles that came to seeing this shining light that we have at our high school in so many ways, and is such a great leader. And in this role as a is not easy. Many meetings, things are prepped for. You can see she's got her softball uniform on. She is in so many different activities and so many different things, and I'm just so proud of her, and just want to introduce Daniela, and we have an award for her too for being our student school board rep. So come on up here.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get teary. So Daniela, the school board went together, and we have this plaque for you. You put it out at graduation, and I'm sure you'll keep it out for the rest of your life, and all of that. But I just have to say, as a school board student rep, you just did an exceptional job. The level of detail, the communication skills, all of those pieces, I just have never seen anything like it, and it just was really special. You're a leader, and I'm just super proud of you, and can't wait for you to come back and apply for a job here. So, on behalf of Jordan Public Schools, thank you very, very much.
Ditto. And I've had the honor of knowing Daniela for a while. I got to know her through Committed and Caring Conversations and through her mom, who's a very dear friend of mine. And you are an incredible representative for this community, and you have been just the epitome of an example of what a fine young person in our community, representing so many different facets of life and representing our schools so well, especially in your role as Ms. Jordan, and within, like Mr. Visner said, within the whole school community. We are gonna miss you a lot. Your mom did share with me that you were already offered a job in Prior Lake, and that you gratefully said, no, I'm going back to Jordan. We're gonna hold you to that, young lady. So I have a certificate on behalf of the board that says the same thing that Dale said, actually. And then the board took up a collection, and just want to give you this as just a little kickstart to get some of your things for college, and just as appreciation for the amazing, amazing board rep you have been, the sharing what's going on in all of the buildings, and you are a very mature young lady, and you've just been great. So congratulations. Thank you. Yes. And I'll let the board, invite the board to speak on behalf of Daniela.
You did a great job. It was really informative, all the things that you brought to the meetings about everything going on in each of the schools. Because a lot of times we're on the outside, and so it's nice to have somebody from the inside be able to provide valuable information. So we're very thankful for you.
I appreciate the perspective that you brought to the board table, and your level of preparedness. Like, you came in with a presentation. So, like, you come prepared, you do your research, you document it, you come well-informed. So I really appreciate that.
Well, I've known you for many years, and I just am so proud of you, and can't wait to see the great things that you're going to do in your future. 'Cause I know you'll do them.
I just echo what everyone else has shared. Thank you so much for coming prepared. Thank you so much for all your due diligence and really going and getting feedback from the students from all the schools. It's been very, very informative. Just wish you all the best, and I'm with Deb. Like, come back.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just echo that. Don't stop what you're doing. Take all of these kind of good habits that you formed. Take kind of some of these learnings that you've had kind of within this forum. Carry it through college. Carry it through whatever kind of life kind of offers you, presents you. Stay energetic. Stay engaged. And great things are going to happen. So, congrats.
Yeah, kind of just piggybacking here, but it was nice having you come in and talk about what was going on in the other schools, like elementary, particularly in middle school, and not being there. So having that little tidbits of what was going on across the district was very helpful. So appreciate everything you did this year, and good luck to you.
And Daniela, I'm going to invite you to maybe take pictures with your family, because they maybe don't want to stay for the whole board meeting. So if you want to do that, and then we'll continue with the meeting, and then we'll get back to you. Thank you all. No public comments were requested. Ooh, we've got a lot on the consent agenda. We have the minutes from the April board meeting, April financials, a lot of donations, which I'm going to read, and then I'm going to pause a little bit. Mighty Cause for the JES backpack program, $45. The next whole section is all for Scott West Fishing. I'm not going to say that every time, but Belle Plaine Chiropractic, $150. Ken Stylen and Lisa Stucker, $150. Fish Lake Sportsman Club, $1,500. Design, Build, and Renew, $500. Merchant, $29. Cara Fox, $300. Cywick Lumber, $600. Jordan Family Dental, $300. Cabin Fever Sporting Goods, $300. Henches Heating and Cooling, $500. Strike Force Bowl, $150. Brett Holbrook Agency, $25. Clancy's, $150. Wolf Motors, $500. Women Anglers of Minnesota, $300. Cox Construction, $500. Herman's Landscape Supplies, $300. Shields, $200. Matt Saxey Chevrolet, $150. Rolex Vans, $400. And New Prague Sportsman Club, $1,000. This whole next section is for the Jordan Trap Team. We have South Metro Carpet and Upholstery, $200. Michael and Christy Johnson, $200. Jerome and Christine Beach, $100. Derek and Jennifer Everett, $300. Thomas Grindhauser, $300. Bon Well Drilling, $400. Herman's Landscape Supplies, $400. Albrecht Masonry, $300. Hennon Equipment, $200. Regal Construction, $300. James Crooks, $300. October Electric, $300. Rye Guy Asphalt Repair, $300. John and Jeanette Raddick, $400. Jennifer Gorvin, $250. Fish Lake Sportsman Club, $1,500. Brett Rodines and Barb Hennon, $300. The Pickled Pig, $300. Lindsay's Barbecue, $100. Mr. and Mrs. J.O. Stay, $300. Dan's Auto Repair, $500. Penny Chiropractic, $300. Fish Lake Sportsman, $620. Wolf Motors, $1,000. Thermal King, $125. The next group is for the JHS band program. Roger and Nancy Noner, $75. Colin and Rebecca Brewster, $150. Anonymous, $936. Brett and Sonny Klein, $20. James and Terry Violet, $500. Sherry and Dennis Schmidt, $40. Leah Holmberg, $250. Stephen Bonnie Barn, $100. And for the next one, we have a special presentation that we want to do. It is an award from contribution from the Jordan Pride Booster Club for subsidizing various activities in the amount of $50,000. So,
I don't know, Rob, if you want to come up.
Rob, yeah.
I don't know. I think you're the one that requested it.
Texting our people about some of those other activities right now too.
Dwayne is at the softball game. The coach for his.
Oh, that's funny. All right.
You want to talk about? We'll talk about it. This is your chance.
Yeah. We got a nice donation that we're going to be able to make for extracurricular activities. So here we go, 50,000. Woohoo! So yeah, I was thinking that everybody else would be here, and not me. But let's go take a picture over here. Real quick, if you want.
Okay.
And we'll,
Yeah, John, you're better on camera than me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, on with the consent, we have a new hire, middle school Spanish teacher Ellen Helgerson, comes in at an MA 10, step 8. New hire, elementary school special ed teacher Jody Sawyer, MA, step 18. New hire, high school vocal teacher Carolyn Enstad, MA, step 13. New hire, middle school science teacher Bridget Vogel, a BA, step 3. New hire high school special ed teacher Alana Rindall, BA plus 40, step 9. New hire middle school industrial tech teacher Leo Willard, BA 10, step 11. New hire elementary school EL teacher Lisa Millard, BA step 10. New hire elementary school grade 2 teacher Michaela Johnson, BA step 2. New hire middle school math academic interventionist teacher Harley Erlinson, BA step 2. New hire boys head basketball coach Yuri Melashenko. New hire JV boys soccer coach Keaton Kohler. Retirement middle school math academic intervention teacher Lisa Railing, and that is with great gratitude for many, 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 many years of service to our district. Retirement of our middle school building engineer John Nugent, who also was a great addition to our engineering custodial staff. Resignation of high school special ed teacher Molly Miller. Resignation preschool teacher Sarah Lund. Resignation elementary school sped teacher, professional Lindsay Whitus. Reduction of hours middle school special ed paraprofessional Ariana Quiros. Leave of absence elementary school grade 1 teacher Royce Wiersma. Contract renewal, these are all contract renewals. Assistant wrestling coach Tyler Biskins, assistant wrestling coach Justin Stoffager, girls basketball head coach Kyle Johnson, B girls basketball coach Wade Whitcop, C girls basketball coach Tim Benzik, middle school girls basketball coach Kevin Sheppers, Nordic ski head coach Lisa Jamison, Nordic ski assistant coach Brian Jamison, speech head coach Amy Peters, first assistant speech coach Michelle Spies, second assistant speech coach Maria Olinger, winter cheerleading head coach Chania Reeling, competitive one-act play coach Marie Wignall, competitive one-act play assistant coach Jan Lennox, robotics head coach Joe Hubel, robotics head coach Steve McClellan, and winter weight room supervisor Ozzie Sand. I will entertain a motion to approve consent.
Motion to approve.
Molly, is there a second?
Second.
That was Lauren? Okay. Any discussion, questions? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, 8.1, construction update.
All right, Chair Polly, members of the board, I'm excited to give this construction update. It has been a busy few weeks. Some of this will be review and some of this will be new information. So we'll get started. Carolyn, I'll have you do the scrolling. So just as a reminder for our community that might be engaging in the meeting this evening, I'll start with a referendum project's timeline review. So not that long ago, just over a year ago, April 11th, the referendum passed. And we engaged in a pretty hefty process, over 70 meetings, just with input and feedback to inform our design of the projects. Through the summer, that continued, and in the fall, in November and December, we engaged in the legal bid process. Our bids actually came back amazing, better than we could have ever hoped for, so that was really great. And we actually had probably the best winter we could ever have going into a construction project. I just can't even imagine it being any better. And so we were able to break ground a lot sooner than I thought we would be able to. And so, bless you, Molly. And so we are in construction mode, deep in construction mode. And so you can see the "we're here" piece, and this summer we're going to have a big focus on the interior, and I'll go through those phases next, and it will continue through the school year, all through the next summer, and by next fall we will be just really happy enjoying our new spaces. So one of the first things that our community saw, you can see the red dotted line, was some fencing that went up. And really the construction site, that's a really important safety feature. Safety is a top priority for us and for our project managers and all of our construction crews. And so that fencing helps keep people out and creates a nice barrier for us as the work happens. So that was one of the first things that we had, was the fencing. So if you look at this, the yellow represents the front parking lot along Sunset. The red represents the back parking lot at JES. This summer, we'll do that first lift on the red area, and then next summer, 2025, the yellow will happen in conjunction with the work the city is doing on Sunset Drive in front of the school. This shows a timeline and phasing map. So if you look at the lavender components, that is the interior first phase work that will happen. If you take a look at that little peach area kind of off to the right, and then the baby blue area on the bottom, that blue area is the 7 classroom addition, and we are working to get that done at the start of the school year. And then also we are going to work to see if we can get that little tiny peach box done as well. Everything's dependent, you know, on all the things that can happen in construction. Did I say destruction? Construction. The green area up top represents the gym, the new office area, the cafeteria, loading dock, and commons where the kids will eat lunch. And then that peach area off to the side is phase 2 construction, along with that gray area on the bottom. So that will happen the second summer. The high school is going to be done this summer as well. I imagine early to mid, probably more mid-June, where we'll get started on that. And you can kind of see the top part of that drawing. If you see the word and go just below that, that represents walking into the corridors of the high school. And you can see that now we will turn into a new office reception area there to get admitted into the high school. So that will have 2 office spaces, it will have a reception area, a little workspace, and then a conference room. Right now the plan is to have activities up there because honestly people frequent the activities really more than anything on a daily basis. So that'll work really well. And of course those plans are flexible as you know the days go, but that's what we're thinking right now. So here's a rendering of the secure entrance reception area. One of the biggest things I'd point out on this is sightlines. We currently don't have major sightlines to the front of the building, so this is going to be a really nice upgrade for us to have the sightlines out the front of the building. If you notice towards the back, you'll see that bright yellow wall. The wall won't be a bright yellow, that's just part of the rendering. But that bright yellow wall, behind that is the conference room. You see the 2 doors on the left, those are the 2 offices. Go back one. Sorry about that. On the very bottom right, that represents the door that you would go through to get into the commons. Okay. This rendering shows the main entrance of Jordan Elementary School. The things I would point out here, there are a few things. One of the things that I think, again, is super important, and we heard this over and over from our community, was the importance of the sightlines from the office staff. And so on the right, under the words Jordan Elementary, that represents where the new office reception area will be, so that will be very nice. The secure entrance, of course, is the door area right in the middle. To the left of that will be the commons cafeteria, and then you can see the block or the cast, or I'm not even sure what you call that, casting? I don't know. To the left, and that is the kitchen area. Loading dock is just past that, and you can see the taller portion that represents the gym. Other things I would point out, you can see the brick area on the commons area. One of the pieces of feedback we had was, would you consider making that brick line a little bit higher so we can't see directly in? And so those on both sides are at 6 feet. So that was a nice shift that we made. The other thing I will say is we just dramatically increased the parking. We dramatically increased the staging area for cars to pull them off of Sunset. And so it's hard to see from this picture, but it's 2 full lanes through so people can park, back up, plus drive through. So very excited about this new entrance. Coming into Jordan Elementary School, when you come in that secure entrance, you will come into this reception area. Things again that I'd point out there is really good sight lines to the outside, as well as to the left would be the nurse's office, and then there are several office areas down that hallway. Cafeteria, one of my favorite things. This actually doubles the size of our cafeteria space at Jordan Elementary School. And so you can kind of see there, right now, this would be like the view if you were walking in from the front of the school. Towards the back, you can see the light from the windows back there. That takes you to an outdoor space with outdoor dining options. You can see the screen because that's important for a presentation space as well. And then to the left of that, I'll start down on the end. You can see the red there. That is the gymnasium entrance. The double doors in the middle would lead to a pretty wide hallway area because that comes off of the loading dock. So pallets, different things that might be unloaded from that loading dock. That's a good staging area there. Plus there are some office spaces back there for nutrition services. Right on the left-hand side there where it says J-Town Cafe, that's the entrance to the kitchen. The kitchen's beautiful. It's just really neat. I absolutely love it. I can't wait. Here's another view of the cafeteria. Just gives a little different perspective with the J-Town Cafe open. You can see on the right, there are two entrances to the hallway classroom areas, restrooms, all of that there on the right-hand side. This is a better picture of the back. You can see that, that brick that goes up about 6 feet. You can also see the screen a little bit better. I love the lighting, just a nice, bright, open space. Kitchen serving area. This is, I think, one of the most important things. I mean, we heard this over and over throughout the information gathering process, throughout the referendum. Our cafeteria is too small, our kitchen even smaller. And so this is going to be a nice upgrade for our students, for our kitchen serving staff. This will allow for 2 points of sale should we ever need it. We can start with 1 point of sale like we have right now, but this offers us flexibility. The JES kitchen, again, a nice view of some of the warming trays, different equipment. I just can't wait. It's just going to be amazing for them. The gymnasium edition, things I would point out here, we will have scoreboards within here. This is a full-size basketball court. There's not a lot of space around the court, but it's a full-size court. So if, you know, 9th grade would need that or anybody would need that for a tournament, that gives us another option. Sideways, we have 2 full-size volleyball courts that could be accessed within that as well. There are bleachers. I think they seat 150, if I remember correctly. And then also presentation space, because this is also an instructional space. So we've got the technology there and projection. Corridors. Here's an example of one of the corridors. Things I would point out here, natural light was a really important piece. So when we could, we infused the natural light pieces coming through the school. This hallway actually, so if you imagine yourself walking into Jordan Elementary School, that first left after Kids Company, that's this hallway. What looks really different about it is that the media center is no longer open space. So that's why this hallway looks a little bit different. Other things I'd point out within this is the locker area, all new lockers throughout the building as well, and raised off of the ground. It helps with cleaning a lot, but also, you know, like kids still have wet boots and things like that. So it's nice to have that. The other thing I would note is the open, you know, the lighting has the access to the windows within the classrooms to help, again, filter more natural light. JES corridor flex space, things I'd point out in this drawing as well. You can see those lockers again. We have flex areas. So if you think about Jordan Elementary School down by kindergarten and 1st grade, there's that wide open flex area where classrooms and small student groups can flex in and out of classes and utilize that. Those are really helpful and important, and so we've infused several more throughout the building. This is one of them, and then right around that corner is a second one. There's screens there, there's flexible seating, workspaces. That post right there in the picture, that actually signifies the current corner of the building. That is holding up the building, so that's going to stay there. So, and then down to the left, special education suites, I believe straight ahead and on the left. An example of entrance into the restrooms. And we have several, actually go back to that, several restrooms. So actually every restroom in the building will be redone, but also I think there are 7 or 8 single stall restrooms as well throughout the building, kind of all over the place. Several of them are over by the commons and gym area as well, because that doubles as a storm shelter. I failed to say that. Typical JES classroom, things I'd point out here too. Sinks were an important piece, making sure that all the classrooms for Gen Ed had sink spaces. Windows, new windows, that was a big deal. So nobody would be able to keep their pop cold in the windowsill in the winter anymore. Flexible seating for students as well. And you can see the instructional space up front. Here's another view of that. You can see the casework that will be all new throughout the building, as well as the doors and hardware. Media Center. Things I'd point out about the Media Center, the pit obviously is super popular in our community, so we saved the pit. That is down there behind the new circulation desk. You can see the new circulation desk. It's on the opposite end of where it currently is. Things I'd point out here as well, really nice and bright throughout this space, and lots of cozy spaces for our kids to read. Here's another view of that. Things I'd point out here. I talked about flex spaces. We have 2 flexible classrooms here as well that could be used for Project Lead the Way or really any purpose. There's enough space for 2 full classes to be in those spaces. They're really cool spaces, actually. I would point out cozy seating as well. You'll see the tree in the middle. That pole currently is in the middle of our media center and is holding up the building also. So that will be a tree now. It's very cute. JES Art Room. Again, I'd point out here the kiln will not just be, you can't see it in this picture, but we won't have to shimmy around the kiln any longer. In that space. New casework, lots of storage. We'll have multiple sinks in there for art, which will be super helpful. Music room. Things I'd point out about the music room. You can see the custom storage on the back wall there for instruments. That'll help get some of the instruments off of the floor. One of my favorite things about this space, you'll see there's that door there kind of by some of the casework. That leads to a riser room where we can store the risers. And I learned through this process there are 2 kinds of riser rooms. One, I can't remember what it does. Maybe something with plumbing, but not the kind of risers we think about standing on and singing. So, but this one actually is a nice space to store those so the kids don't have to sit on the floor as often. This is one of my favorite things, ELS reception area. Currently, when you walk into the ELS space, we have the most welcoming, wonderful staff. The challenge is that there is no sight line. You walk in and it is like brick on all sides of you, and it's hard to know where to go. And this is truly the first experience a lot of our families have with our school district. So very excited to have the ELS reception and office area. A typical ELS classroom, again, things I'd point out here with the custom casework. Take a look at the cubbies. Those are also elevated off of the floor, and there's some, I think, walk-off carpet underneath that as well. That'll be good for cleaning and also for wet winter gear and boots and all of that. So that'll be helpful. Plus, custom furniture for all the little exploration things that our kiddos do. Interior finishes, very consistently our feedback was that folks wanted it to really reflect Jordan Public Schools. They really wanted to see school colors infused throughout the entire building. So again, this is another carpet sample that you'll see infused throughout the design. LVT as well. Paint. Planting palette, something that's important to note is that, you know, all the groundskeeping and all of that will be a part of this process as well. And there will be a nice variety of plantings. Trees, we obviously had to remove a lot of trees because we have a school where the trees were. And that was really hard to see, you know, and with the bat population and all of that, they had to come down really quickly before April 1st, and so it was a really dramatic change right away. One of the things I think is important for everyone to know is for every tree that we remove, we're planting 2 or 3 in its place. So it will still be a beautiful campus filled with trees. JES Playground. Here's an overview of the elementary playground. Things I would point out here is no more wood chips, so we have the port in place. Surface there, you can see some of the equipment. A big focus for us was student feedback, and the kids gave feedback this fall. And they just wanted lots of variety. So that you can see there are a lot of different things that kids can do. Here's another view of the playground. You can see lots of swinging, climbing, spinning, tunneling, all of those things. ELS is also getting a new playground, and you can see also the port in place surface and lots of different things for our kids to use those gross motor skills. Here's an example as well. You can see the climby things, the swings. You can see little playhouses and things like that. Super fun.
Renee, will they still have wood chips, or is that
Nope,
sand?
port in place. That's just a
Tan
picture
color?
of the product on somewhere else,
Okay.
but port in place. Yep.
No, I
Yeah.
had that little, I'm like, is
Yeah.
that the sandbox, or is that like
Yeah.
a different, yeah,
No, it's just a picture of what we ordered, but it's just not in, you know.
yeah. No,
it's-
that's fine, I was
yeah.
just curious if it,
Yeah.
because there's one there now, and I thought maybe they're moving it, or.
Yeah. So I also have Dustin Kemp and Chris Boss here, and I'd love for them to come. Go ahead. Yeah, go up there.
We always enjoy your presentation.
Let's do that. And use the microphone. So I asked them to be here. We know Dustin. We've been working with Dustin for a few years now. But Chris, this may be the first time you've been meeting him, and he is just super important to the project. So I thought it was important that you have a chance to meet.
Yeah, so like Renee said, Dustin Kemp, Senior Project Manager for Kraus Anderson. Like you guys know from the beginning, I've just started from the pre-con phase, and I'm going to be with you guys all the way through the construction phase. And I just assist with Chris right now if anything's needed from his end.
I'm the person that runs the crews out here. I coordinate them, durations, and if we get behind a little bit, it's up to me to push them along, or vice versa, and to make sure everything flows really well out here, while you and Will are handling everything from the project management side of things. So that's kind of what I do. I'm also in charge of the scheduling. So as you can see, we had a few days of rain in the past 2 weeks. Thank goodness we're on sand, because actually the crews that we have on site have taken us from being a few days behind in schedule to actually being ahead of schedule on the concrete. Our steel was put up. We got our classroom steel up in 3 days less duration than what we originally had planned. So right now, we're sitting pretty good on scheduling. A few things that are coming up that the kids are gonna love too is we will have precast going vertical here the 22nd of May. That's gonna be a big one. They're gonna, big crane, big trucks. It should be a fun one for the kids to watch.
No
So-
school that day.
So if everybody's not familiar with what precast is, it's going to be pre-poured concrete walls that are going to be tipped up into place for the gymnasium.
Wow.
And then we will also be getting our bar joists for the classroom addition here coming on Wednesday, and they will be starting to install them on Wednesday. So we're gonna start getting that classroom addition enclosed to hopefully have that ready for fall of the 2024 school season. So that's our plan.
Carolyn, can you flip ahead a slide, please?
Oh, did I get ahead of the
It's okay.
slides?
You're good.
Okay.
That's
Keep
okay.
going.
That's just fine.
Yeah,
And that's about it.
that's about it for me. I mean, we're kinda just coming out of the ground here, so it's kind of exciting. Our last concrete pour will be on Wednesday, so we're sitting really good in that direction.
Then one thing we wanted to note is, I'm going to read right from the slide, we continue to remain in alignment with budget and timelines. So overall, we are still under budget, and right now with any of the funds that we potentially have coming forward, if we do stay under our contingency values and we come under our general condition values, we're hoping to set aside more funding to pay for our other district needs, maybe potentially like a future roof in the elementary school K through 1 edition. And then another thing to note is timelines. We're obviously on track, like Chris said. And so, again, everybody likes to say this, we're on time and on budget, but feels good to say that here. It's very easily said. Then the next thing we wanted to note is, how can the board and community stay connected and informed? What we've done on our end, and we do this for a lot of people, a lot of clients, if you click on that Spark page link, this is just a way for us to communicate exactly what's happening throughout the construction phase, so it's an own website. However, the district chooses to disperse this information. Do you have to say something?
I was gonna tell Carolyn to slowly scroll so that we can, move down.
Yep, so it's essentially your own website that oversees any construction. So about the project, just a real brief overview of what the elementary school project is and what the high school project is. And if we keep scrolling, then we'll have project update pictures, so here's the important groundbreaking photos. Keep scrolling down, then we'll have renderings for anybody that views the website, be able to just click on it and view as they wish. Keep scrolling. And then we also have a Ox Blue camera. So it's essentially you can watch construction live, so you click on that link.
There's not a lot going on right now. It looks good.
Oh, cool.
And it's not technically live, I think it takes a photo about every 15 minutes. And if you want to do any time lapses, you can click on that little time lapse link up there. You can view, I wouldn't recommend the last 7 days, but you can look through like the last day, that might just be yesterday's. And it'll just give you a time lapse overall of what happened. I think that's probably going to be Sunday. So if you do it tomorrow, you'll be able to see what happened today.
Wow.
Is that linked to the district website?
Yes, it will be. Oh, you already have it? It already is.
It's a lot of fun when we're 2 or 3 months into the project and then you can watch everything and you just start seeing it going up. That's a lot of fun, yeah.
Really clean job site, Chris. I know that's important to you.
I do shout out to my crews. They're doing a phenomenal job with safety and with cleanliness, so.
We actually meet every Tuesday in the afternoon, and that's an actual agenda item.
Absolutely.
Like, making sure the site is clean and safe and all of those things, so it's awesome.
Safety is the first topic we discussed.
Yeah.
every single week.
Yep.
Yep. Then if you go back to the website, you keep scrolling down, we'll give everybody high-level looks at, okay, here's what's happening with the elementary parking lot utility work, that's the work that's been completed in April so far. You keep scrolling down, it'll just give everybody high-level looks, what's happened throughout the past month. Then keep scrolling down, then work that's upcoming in May, so more or less everything that Chris just mentioned should be mentioned here within this bullet point structure. And keep scrolling, and we have it broken out by area. I guess that goes without saying. And then it sounds like Elise and Renee have been fielding a lot of questions like, okay, what's gonna happen in the interior of the school this summer and next summer, so we have a brief outline going over that for everybody, just in case they need to have that information. And keep scrolling, if there's any weather days, any safety incidents, we'll also track that. And last but not least is any progress photos that have been taken throughout construction. Yeah, so it's just a fun way for
That is way cool.
everybody to be involved.
That is really cool.
Isn't it?
It's a good
Very
way to have
informative.
information
Yeah.
Distributed throughout the district.
You're right, and Chris and I cannot take credit for putting this website together. This is from our marketing department. We just feed them the information and they make it look nice. Oh, this is a fun one to point out.
Oh, yeah.
Elise just made this public. But Chris and Wes organized on site to have what we call a beam signing.
Yep.
So everybody from the elementary school took part in putting their own signature on the beam that's going up in place right now. Was that the last beam to be set in place for the classroom addition?
So,
One of them.
it's one of the last beams to be set in the classroom addition. There's one more, but there's a reason why that's not set.
Yeah.
For the sake of this meeting, it's the last game.
Yeah,
The
okay.
last beam. When it's finished, we actually planned it where the signatures are on the inside, so if we pulled up the ceiling tile, you could see all the signatures on that beam. So it's more of a significance than it is a visual thing. I think is the best way to put it.
Carolyn, can you jump to the slide deck again? The yellow slide deck? Yep. And one more. So, as they mentioned, I think throughout this, communication has been a major priority for us, making sure people, have the information, and sometimes you guys probably feel like, yep, we've heard this 10 times, but I think the number of opportunities we have to maximize different, ways that we can share with our public. Can you click ahead, please? So throughout the phases of the process, we'll continue to share information. Like they said, the Spark page will continue to be updated. I think it's going to be really cool once we're able to see the time lapse and things are really going vertical with that. That'll be neat. And then also just a variety of methods through social media and the website, and communications home with families will be important. And then also the latest can always be on our website as well. And then we're not going to click into these, but this just has a list of different ways we've already communicated different things. We continue to make videos for the kids just to make sure that it's on their level and find different ways to engage them. Not everybody knows what a pump truck is, okay? So,
Oh, that's what you're laughing at.
jeez.
I'm laughing with you. I'm not laughing
Sure,
at
it felt like it. But yeah, and as communication becomes available, we'll definitely keep sharing that. I really want to, the next slide. Board updates, again, I'll continue to do weekly updates for you, in my email. And then throughout the project, we'll continue to do those things. At the June 24th work session, potentially, we're hoping maybe we can do a site visit over there. It's going to depend on safety and all of those things. So it'll be a nice time because you'll see everything kind of ripped apart. And
I think by June 24th, we will be putting back together.
okay,
So,
so that means hard hats and
You'll be able to see
vests
through all
and-
the walls, though. No?
No.
Not yet?
no.
Drywall will be up by then?
Framing starts the second week of June.
Okay.
So we should be in drywall stage at that point. So. if you
I don't
guys-
hate that. Just keep building.
We'll get
That's fine.
pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, so just plan
So-
on that for June.
Sorry.
No, you're okay, Chris.
Coffee bubble.
No, it's all okay. Do you want to go to the next slide? So I have two other things to share. So Laura Tice, you all know her. She's a third grade teacher for us. On Friday morning, one of the first things that I saw was an email from her, and it said, "It's truly the little things in life. I love that KA and Henges are making the dreams of both kids and adults come true." And that picture of the little guy watching the construction is what she sent. And he is a doll, and he is just so into the construction. And so Chris gave him, the gear, and he's like obsessed with it. And so Elise took that picture of him and Chris at the signing the other day too. But that's the thing. The kids have been so engaged, and the workers have been just awesome. There's a lot of kids digging holes over on the playground right now, which we're gonna just let it happen. But do you want to go to the next slide? And so, like they said, this was just incredibly special to be able to do that signing and spend that time with each of the kids and the staff, all while, the construction work is going on. And so I have a lot of gratitude. We talked about engaging the kids and making sure that they felt like they were a part of this process, and I just couldn't be more excited for how that's been unfolding this spring. So thank you both very much for making that happen.
It's fun.
It is fun. It's really fun. Do you guys have any questions? That was a lot of information, but
Very thorough. No, I got all my questions answered.
No, I think that being able to reference When is it gonna be done? What's it gonna look like? And to be able to reference
Yeah.
the websites would be really helpful.
For sure.
So thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes, thank you very much. That's awesome. Have a good evening, you guys.
Yeah, you can leave. Yeah. Go home to your
Have a good
family.
night. Okay, review and act on the annual activities fee, 8.2. Mr. Butine.
Bye, you guys. Thank you.
Alrighty. Good evening again, board members. So we chatted a couple of weeks ago at the work session just around sort of where we're positioned from an activities fees standpoint and schedule. You have the proposed fee schedule, I think, was prepared for you, but it's also up on the screen as well. There is one piece of new information that I realized post-work session I should include for you. This past year, we re-engaged a program called Math Masters, which is a semi-competitive enrichment math program targeted, in our case, towards fourth graders. It's for upper elementary students. So we had a couple of teachers at our elementary school, Leah Omelette and Lindsay Johnson, who spearheaded kind of re-energizing that. From what I understood, it kind of took a backseat during the COVID era, and they had some interest and wanted to get it going, and that was a really positive experience. So we would plan to run that again next year. So I've added that registration fee into the schedule as well for you. So that's highlighted as one of the items as a $60 registration fee. Just for those who weren't a part of the discussion the other day, really the only change in terms of an increase that I would propose would be a $10 increase of our cheerleading fee. Just brings that fee more in line with other similar programs that have similar expenses as far as staffing, transportation, et cetera. Tightens up our fee structure just a little bit. We also have the addition of harmonics as a new activity. If you're unfamiliar with harmonics, that is a vocalist group. They typically do some end of their season outstate competitions, which is primarily what their registration fee would go towards, including, in addition to, I should say, a stipend for our choir director who would be leading that. The other couple of items of note that are on there are just the co-ops that we have through Prior Lake. There's been no official development in terms of what their activity fees are going to be for next year, so we'll be following that and potentially raising fees according to what they do down the line, just to be able to keep pace for our students that we send up to Prior Lake. So those were the items that I highlighted on the schedule itself. Just as far as kind of the big picture stuff, I had brought some documentation to our work session that just showed you where some of our both neighboring and I guess competitive districts would be, anywhere from Rockford to Shakopee to Prior Lake to Hutchinson and Delano and Mount West Tonka. There's a number of those schools, a pretty significant number that we're kind of right in line with or are just below us. In terms of our varsity level activities fees. And then there's a couple that are significantly above us into the low 200s. And we talked maybe a little bit about what that means for our future. Overall, my recommendation is to stand pat for this year. There is I think something that we should explore, looking perhaps even as soon as next year at least a slight increase just to keep pace with A, general inflation, but B, a couple of spots that I'm keeping an eye on, namely the cost of officials, which due to the competitive nature of trying to make sure that we have those events staffed. Also our own game day staffing. And then some sort of monopoly pocket industries within activities like our huddle solutions and things like Riddell for our helmet conditioning, where they're just really sort of specialty areas where there's really one vendor for those types of things, and their fees are sort of ever increasing. So that's kind of the lay of the land from our activities fees. Are there any questions from the board members, either in follow-up to what we discussed the other night or here this evening? Thank you.
Yeah, I think it makes sense that we look at this obviously again next year for the reasons that you obviously just stated, so I know the officials piece is a huge issue, so. Any comments or questions before we, okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the annual activities.
I'll motion to approve.
Sarah, is there a second?
Second.
Lauren, discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, John. Okay, review and act on the annual approval of the graduates list. Superintendent Evenson.
Okay. Chair Polly, members of the board, it is the May regular board meeting where we approve the list of graduates. Things that I would note, we have 171 students on this list. It's one of our largest classes that we've had in quite a while, and will have for quite a while. Of course, as an action item, you do annually approve this list. Students are still required to meet the requirements for graduation prior to the deadline.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve the list of the 2024 JHS graduates.
Motion to approve.
Molly, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Rob? Okay, discussion, questions?
How big is the 8th grade class coming up next?
The 8th grade? Give me a second.
It's a smaller class? Okay.
They're all smaller.
Because we're going to graduate 171. I wanted to see how many were coming in the following year.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
our
wanted to
8th
see
grade
from
right now is at 139,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, this is a big class.
I have no clue.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of approving the list of graduates signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Annual approval of the MSHSL membership, and this is a resolution, but Superintendent Evenson.
Okay, so Jenny and I were busy on, I think, Thursday or Friday last week with this. Again, this is an annual process. Districts belong to the Minnesota State High School League for activities, multiple activities. The resolution must be adopted. Jenny and I signed because she's the clerk. And then at some point, we watch a video while we play. I don't know if we're going to get an updated version or not, but when I get it, I'll make sure to send it to all of you to watch. That's it.
Okay, this is a resolution, so I'm not going to read the whole resolution to you. Basically, it's just reinforcing, our membership in the high school league, and that that the school district listed as, that the governing board of the school district is renewing their membership in the MSHSL, and that the governing board adopts the Constitution, bylaws, policies, rules, and regulations of the league, and that, that they're the governing league. So I will entertain a motion to approve the annual resolution.
Motion to approve.
Lauren, is there a second?
I'll second.
Corinne? Okay, any further discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Sarah Lennon,
Yes.
Lauren Pedersen,
Yes.
Molly Maniak,
Yes.
Rob Langheim,
Yes.
Corinne Hennon,
Yes.
Jenny Kuski,
Yes.
Deb Polly.
Yes, motion carries.
Deb, one thing, you do have a typo on that form. You have John's email address wrong.
No, that would be me.
John's email address is, it's J,
Oh,
not E.
okay. Thank you.
Oh, good catch.
Yep.
Make sure that that correction gets made.
Yeah.
Good, thanks, Molly, good catch. Okay, 8.5, review and act on the unaffiliated directors' contracts. Superintendent Evenson.
Okay. All right, Chair Polly, members of the board, as we continue to work our way through terms and conditions, updates, and negotiations of different contracts, we just completed the directors, the unaffiliated directors. I gave an update, I think, in my weekly update maybe 2 weeks ago on some of the basic components with that. In terms of the agreement, it does cover the positions as noted. Up there, the average salary and benefits improvement was over 3 years, the equivalent of 2 to 3%. We did do a 3-year term for this because we are pretty much at the end of the first year already. And rather than come back next year again, we did a 3-year. For some positions, we did do market rate updates as warranted. That's something that we engage in every year as well. We did updates to the deferred compensation and severance. That's comparable to the current principal agreement. We added Juneteenth as a holiday as required by legislation, and we added some vacation days. Next up is nurses and Local 284, and we actually started scheduling that this week and Friday.
Okay, so you have the contracts in front of you, so I will entertain a motion to approve the unaffiliated director contracts.
Motion to approve.
Molly, is there a second?
I'll second.
Sarah? Okay, questions, discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, superintendent's report.
Okay, couple of things here. I thought it was important in the sharing our story portion, just to give a reminder for our public that might be engaging in the meeting online, that the Henderson Independent will be our official paper. I know Elise engaged with them this week as well with with the process and all of that for submission. But I want to make sure folks know that that will be the official paper moving forward. I know there was some concern about printing press, and Rachel has resolved that. So that is in place. Building projects update. I feel like I just gave you a really long one, so I probably will just not go through that. But what I will mention is this next week is going to be really busy, so there's a lot of opportunities for you as a board to engage. I know there are several concerts this week. Pop's concert Wednesday. We've got a couple of middle school concerts, I think today, tomorrow, obviously not today because you're here, but tomorrow as well. And then next week, we have a work session right away. So it'll be 2 Mondays in a row of meetings. The work session will be our retirement gathering for our 3 folks that are retiring. That'll be up here. That actually starts a little early. So because it's a work session, we do the reception from 5 to 5:30. I'll make sure to have that in the email that comes out to you this week, so you have all of those details. And then after that, there are no other agenda items because it is awards night. And that starts at 8 o'clock at the high school, so I want everybody to be able to go to that as well. The other thing I would note is, again, next week is going to be really busy. And on the 28th, we have our breakfast, and that will be at 7:30. Again, we usually show up about 10 after 7 and welcome folks coming into the high school. Kelly and her team will be providing a nice breakfast for us as well, and we'll do years of service. I know Deb usually likes to have help passing out those as well. I skipped right over commencement. I'll have notes about that. That's Friday night. We'll meet at 7 o'clock in front of the high school office. Yeah.
Who's seeing the end of year breakfast?
And seeing?
Yeah, usually they have somebody that does that. One year it was Roseville Branson, remember? Or is that the beginning of the year?
Yeah, that's a union thing. The union plans that whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't, I think for the last 4 years, they haven't really done that. But they will, I know Sarah will probably talk, I know I'm gonna say a few words, we'll do years of service. And then I believe there will be a couple of groups doing some things for the retirees as well, so that'll be a fun little thing. We're gonna be in the commons the whole time, we won't be shifting into the auditorium, which honestly, it works really nicely, just to stay right where we are.
Yeah, because they don't do the teacher of the year in each building anymore. so.
Nope,
Oh.
yep, they just wanna celebrate a great year.
Mhm. Good, any questions? Okay, any questions about any of the other directors' reports? Or comments? Okay, then we will have our student rep report.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me here on the board. I know, like, a lot of you guys have said my journey through here at the high school and just like all 3 schools in general has been such a wonderful opportunity. And if it weren't for teachers like Miss Kusky, who helped me a lot my freshman year, Mr. Visner, a lot of people in the elementary school, middle school, who helped me realize what type of path and journey I wanted to take on, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be pursuing education because of, if it weren't for the impact that a lot of people had for me, like I wouldn't want to be doing that. And I just realizing the amount of like the way that you can impact others as an educator is just so inspiring, what is what honestly fuels me to want to become an educator. So yeah, I'll be coming back to Jordan to teach one day kindergarten in our beautiful new building. I know my sister's in Miss Schultz's room, so it's right by the construction. Like you can see the construction out of her window, and every day she's like, "Oh my God, yeah! Like I saw this and I saw that," and like it's just so much fun hearing her and all that stuff. But yeah, like the energy at the high school has been so fun. You know, end of the year. Me and a couple other people, we are on the senior executive board, and we are having our senior class trip on Friday. We are going to Valley Fair because we didn't have one in 8th grade because the 8th graders typically go to Valley Fair. But my year we didn't go because of COVID, and so we wanted to go take that trip finally as a class together. I'm so super excited, and obviously my class is very big, so I'm just excited to finally be able to close this chapter and start a new one and see what I'll do when I'm older. But thank you.
Great, thank you. Good. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see, on to committee reports. Let's see, where's my committees? Budget, finance, calendar, city, school. Oh, go ahead.
So city school has not met, but I did get an update from Tom Nikkinen this last week. For some of our board members, you may know that there was some discussion of some possible development with baseball and all of that. That is no longer in place. They chose another city. And yeah, that's what I said. Tom said he had a different word, but it was it was disappointing. But the feedback was, they were very excited about, just the possibility and just always appreciate the partnership with the school district. But unfortunately, they went with another location. So,
Oh, heck, okay.
yeah,
Do we know the other location?
I don't. Do you know somebody on city council? They might. Yeah.
You'll probably find out tonight.
I mean, maybe.
I'll find out.
If the Timberwolves
I'll
aren't
let
playing,
you know. No, we
yeah.
don't talk about
Okay.
the
Okay.
Okay, community ed rec?
We didn't meet. I think we actually meet next week. So,
Okay.
I mean, I think the last time we probably were going in to celebrate Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And so, overall, I think there was a lot of positive feedback. I mean, it was great. It was a beautiful day, a lot of vendors, a lot of people up here. So I think overall, just a really fun event, and we'll continue to build on it.
Yeah, I think the new things they added, the vehicles outside, and then the robotics and the game stuff up in the middle school commons was a good addition. I thought it was really a nice event.
Yeah, I do too. We do need a new popcorn machine. Just I told the Booster Club that, Rob.
Okay. Noted.
I agree with that. One did not
If
work.
you get that, we can
Yep.
carry the check again,
That's right.
I just thought there might be some money.
Just create the rationale for how it boosts different activities, and then we'll make it happen.
Ask Renee that. She posts popcorn for dinner.
I mean,
all the time.
at every activity.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thanks, Fred.
Sold.
Great, curriculum and technology integration, let's see, we did,
I didn't go, but it was just a construction update. So
yeah, right, it was
I
pretty
probably
much
just
the
what Renee
update
said.
that Renee did, yeah. That was our last one for the year till next fall, so. Facilities, obviously, that's all going on. Meet and confer, we didn't have anything there. Negotiations, as Superintendent Evenson said, we have our first date for our 284 negotiations coming up in June, starting on June 10th.
10th, yeah.
And then we've got 3 other dates blocked out for that too, so hopefully that will go well. Policy, we did not meet.
We probably will in June.
Okay.
There are some updates from MSBA that we just received last week, as well as just continuing on with our annual reviews.
Okay, great, good. APAC, we had the banquet last week. Many of you were there, so it was a great event, well attended, and so it was very moving to see that, so that was fun. We did have an APAC meeting last Thursday, I believe it was. Basically went over budget, talked a lot about the banquet, talked about, Ann Hegel is going off the board, so there's gonna be some changes on the board, and they're talking about who the officers are gonna be. They talked a little bit about some class offerings, a class offering in the high school, offering, is it Ojibwe? As a language, so they're looking into studying that to see what the repercussions of that would be and the opportunities. So it was a good meeting. Booster Club, Sarah, Rob.
Yeah, no, things are going well as we're closing out the year. Obviously, we were able to make a donation today. I texted furiously, "Where is everybody?" And apparently, it's a busy time of the year. But no, I mean, I think, kind of from our perspective, just trying to make sure that we're identifying different opportunities as we go into the summer and start to kind of emerge in a strong position for next fall. We are going to be closing out our fiscal year at the end of June. That'll be kind of a time when we're thinking about new members, and so just kind of encourage anyone that might have interest in supporting Booster Club, either in a big way or a little way, to definitely think about us, because we can absolutely use your help.
Great, good. Foundation,
Maybe tomorrow.
okay. Legislative, ooh, lots of stuff going on there. The ed bill, I'm not real sure if that was on the docket today, but I was in the background, I had on the House Live, and they were doing like an all-afternoon kind of stalling effect on whatever bill they were on, so it's lots going on. I know in the ed bill, there's quite a bit of stuff about the READ Act, the health standards are no longer going to be under local control. They're going to be
Yeah, I'm sure that'll pass.
written by MDE, and let's see what else.
Gosh.
Those were
The READ Act was the biggest.
Yeah.
I would say just in terms of, one of the main pieces of feedback we had last year was that there was all this local literacy aid. Well, we already had that, and we have been using it to help local literacy. But last year they told us how we had to use it, so that meant we couldn't use it the way we were. So now they're looking at some per pupil formula things, 2 buckets. I honestly, who knows? I completely support literacy. Like, it's one of my favorite, things. And, yeah, I don't know how this is going to work, but the thing about it in Jordan is we've been on that track for science of reading for a long time. Our staff is exceptional, so that helps a lot. Erin has been on top of the professional development and getting that information out. So there are districts that are really going to struggle. We're going to be okay because we've been on this path. So that's an important, I think, thing to note. But there's just a lot of questions swirling yet with that. I would say that's the biggest thing right now.
What is the health standards? What is that in relation to class?
Yeah, so I haven't seen anything, but essentially what would happen, so like every so many years, for example, there are new literacy standards or new math standards. And so they give you a framework of what the main standards are and then what the smaller benchmarks are. And typically those are K-12 standards. So for an example, in social studies, in kindergarten, it's how to be a good community member or be a good friend, those kinds of things. I honestly don't know what they'll put in the health standards, but my guess is it would, give some framework that, tells what you have to teach in your high school requirements and that. So I don't want to speculate, but typically what happens is they have a committee that comes together, they have drafts, they have public comment, and that goes through a series of things. And if they miss deadlines, then they won't get approved by the judge that has to approve them and all of those things. So it's kind of at the legislative level.
So this removes local board control about the content.
Yep, that's true. It's been kind of the theme.
Okay, scale. I think you had scale last week.
We've had two scale
Two
meetings
scales, yeah.
since the last board meeting. I didn't go to the one just Friday, but I went to the one on April 12th. And the Burnsville Egan Savage School District kind of gave an update of their marketing programs that they have going on. It was really nice marketing material, and that must cost a lot of money for them to put that all together. So I'm thankful that we have a great marketing committee that does what we do, but they spend a lot of money on their marketing.
Yeah.
Then we got ARPA updates. ARPA is the American Rescue Plan funds, and those were updates that came from each one of the cities that were at that meeting, and they kind of did a recap of how they spent that money. And Jordan, if I remember correctly, they did it on the Poly Park.
Park.
Yeah, they spent their ARPA funds on the Poly Park. And then after that, it was just pretty much an open forum and things like that. I like going to scale, I do, but I had a meeting on Friday, so I couldn't go to the one that was just on Friday. But I think you gave a recap, a pretty good recap.
Yeah, I did in the weekly update. I did join virtually on that one. We just had too many things going on campus that I didn't want to spend time in the car driving over there. I wanted to be at the signing and all of the things at the elementary in the morning. But yeah, they had an interesting session on just cybersecurity. It's a big thing. And you can't be too careful with it. So they had some people from, local universities, from cities, from school districts, just kind of talking about some best practices in that. Stephen and I meet regularly, just in relation to, what we can do as a school district, and we will be, moving forward with some things, even tightening things further for us. We just have to, so.
Yeah, the cybersecurity piece is really scary. I was on a hospital exec committee call today. Ascension hospitals, there's 120 hospitals that are completely down. They have nothing. They're operating with paper stuff. Yeah, that cybersecurity is huge. So.
Yeah, there was just a big,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave it
There
there.
are just things, yeah.
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 Gee, I wonder.
Yeah.
Well, it's public knowledge, so there's no reason why I can't.
No, it is. It's public knowledge.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
Yes.
and I
It's
think
in-
the-
all over the news.
Relative to this conversation for our school district, I think the important thing is, I know Stephen works really hard to continue to get information out every year, to our staff, just on best practices and phishing attempts, and the phishing attempts are savvy, like they are really, really savvy. So, just making sure that, our staff is thinking before they're responding, they're looking at the email addresses. The superintendent's probably not gonna send 6 people a thing at midnight that says urgent committee information, like thinking about those kinds of things. So, yeah, more to come on that, but security is a big deal.
Yeah. Well, even within this board structure is a big deal, where we've had a couple of attempts this year, where all of our information is
Yep.
public.
Yep.
And because it's public, people try to compromise that.
Yeah.
Yes. We've got emails from Deb.
All the
Right.
time.
That's right,
Deb
I
just keeps
forgot
calling
about
and
that.
asking for
Yeah,
money,
that
just
did
at
happen.
random
That was,
times.
yes.
Yeah.
And it was that, yeah.
Yeah.
Or don't call me, just send it.
Yeah. I would like 48 gift cards, and don't tell anybody.
I don't get those, so I don't know what you guys are doing.
Oh, you haven't? Well, when you do get them,
Yeah,
Don't
it's
open
not
them.
legit. Don't open it.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah. Okay, SEAC,
Well, we met, but no one showed up.
Yeah, that we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Molly and I went.
We were there.
Yeah.
No, we didn't meet about anything.
okay, Southwest Metro, we're in the process of looking for a new executive director. I'm on the search committee, so we've been meeting weekly. Hope to have interviews done at the June 18th, I think it is, meeting. Other than that, their online program is really growing a lot. So, other than that, they have a lot of graduations coming up. I don't know if we have any of our students that will be graduating
I
or
haven't
not,
gotten any
so-
emails.
I haven't either yet, so, yeah. Okay, board report, Sarah.
All right. Just want to say congratulations to boys track, 2AA
Yeah.
section champions. They get to go to do True State now this Saturday in Stillwater, so that's really exciting. And they just edged out Belle Plaine in the 4x4. I mean, it was exciting. So congrats to them. I mean, we're wrapping up spring sports. Spring sports is the most condensed, I feel. I mean, soccer is also very, but like spring sports, you're here, then it's over. So best of luck to all the teams and all the athletes who are wrapping up this season. Graduation is next Friday. That's
Next Friday.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
right. Next Friday's graduation. Pray for no rain.
Great
Just
weather.
no rain. I mean, that's
Great weather. Yeah.
but yeah, I can't believe we're wrapping up another school year.
Can't either.
That's all I have.
Congratulations to the graduating senior class. 171 students, big class. Congratulations to you. Want to wish you the best in your future endeavors. Enjoy whatever you choose to do in this next chapter in your life. Enjoy the journey. And that's all I have.
Molly?
Well, graduation's next week. No, everything's, going good. We're just kind of in the thick of it, trying to, my type A OCD personality is, I have everything ready for graduation, like setting, ready to be set out for the grad party. So that's just kind of how I work. But everything's good. Softball's been fun this year. Peyton sung the national anthem tonight at the varsity games.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. She was pretty brave.
Oh,
Her and
wow.
a friend sang it.
That's
so
awesome.
Cool. That was pretty fun. But yeah, no, everything's good. Congratulations to all the kids. I can't believe we're here. I feel like I just sent you off to kindergarten. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, so special shout out to all the graduating seniors. That's super exciting. For all of the other students in the other grades, stay focused. Only a week and a half to go. Finish strong. It's so busy. Lots of activities on the extracurricular kind of side of the equation. So yeah, so congrats to all the kind of the teams that are kind of competing and kind of able to kind of go to that kind of next level. That's super exciting. And then also too, just like district-wide, just, props to everyone who's kind of making the renovation of the elementary school happen. So just kind of gratitude to all of them. That's a lot of hard work, and we're going to be way better off as a result in a year and a half. Just, kind of wishing for just good, week and a half of kind of celebration as the school year comes to an end. Lots of family, relatives coming in, different vacations that people are kind of thinking about. And so hopefully it'll be a fun, memorable time. That's all I got.
Congrats to Daryl. Also just want to say thank you to the Booster Club just for continuing to champion for our school and activities, and $50,000 is amazing. So, congrats to the grads. Extended forecast is 81 degrees on Saturday.
All right, we'll take it.
Friday.
Oh, it's raining on Friday. Just
Corinne.
kidding.
That was,
It rains, we
that
know
was
to
not okay.
I didn't look at Friday. It was Saturday last year. I got confused. Yeah, concert. Hopefully, you can get out to some of the concert this week. As far as us wrapping up sports for my young kids, rolling into camps in the summer. Booked a last-minute trip to Texas right after school gets out. So we just want to stay busy, I guess. No rest for the weary.
That's us too. I think you should ask Peyton if she wants to sing tomorrow. 'Cause I missed it. Oh. I was stuck in the traffic on 169. It was awful.
Oh, yuck.
But anyways, yeah, we've just been busy. I'm trying to go to as much softball as I can, and with Franklin, yes, Coach Franklin is our like little bat boy. He loves it. Yeah, the girls love it. Yeah. And then I just busy with like flag football for the kids, and then sign them up for all their summer stuff. So it's just been like you, staying busy and doing all the things. Yeah. So.
Good. Daniela?
Kind of like what Miss Kuski said, like softball has been so much fun. And yeah, Coach Franklin has been super fun, and he super nonchalant. He covered one of my friends today in stickers. So it was really fun. But yeah, obviously getting ready for my grad party, and since the summer is starting and it's like festival and parade season, all my Miss Jordan events are coming in hot. So I'm excited to get even more busy this summer. But obviously graduation's a little bittersweet, but it has to happen. So yeah.
Good. Prom was, thank goodness, went really, really well, and always glad when the kids all get home safely. I thought it was very, very nicely done. The 21st, I want to encourage you, anybody that can attend the Middle School Festival of Nations between 8:30 and 10:30 in the morning. That would be a fun thing to do. I went to the middle school and the high school play. The middle school play yearbook was really fun. The kids actually wrote into the script things that actually was part of their school year here. So it was very personalized, and it was just a fun play. And I thought Midsummer Night's Dream at the high school was phenomenal. It was hysterical.
Out loud.
It was out loud laugh.
Yeah.
And it was so well done. It was one of the best plays I think they've ever done. I went to the geography bee here at the middle school. That was fun. Congrats to the visual arts participants that won. And I think that's it for me. So just congrats to, all of our award winners next week when they have the awards night, and again to our graduates, and special thanks to our retirees too for all they've done for the district. So, Superintendent?
I just wanted to add one last thing that I should have said during my board report. I just really wanted to say thank you to our staff. It's no small feat to pack up a huge portion of a building, and our district office staff, Dan, Elise, Melissa, Jeff, like they've had, and Amy and Cullen, and everybody's had extra meetings. Dan and Elise have had a lot of extra meetings as well, just helping figure out what we're packing, what we're storing, what that looks like in that process. So I wanted to extend my gratitude for that. But our staff has been killing it. Like, they are going to be ready. I'm not worried at all. And so I just think that's a huge big deal, because end of the school year is busy enough. You've got all the testing, you've got just the end of the year things, plus educating our kids and keeping them safe and loved while they're there, and packing. So I just wanted to say thank you. And I know all of our teachers and all of our staff members are working really hard. But I appreciate so much that people have had just awesome attitudes about it. So just gratitude.
Good. Anything else?
Yes, I do have one other thing.
Yeah.
It is going to be 75 and sunny on Friday.
Perfect.
Extended forecast.
Perfect.